So here's a short story about a guy who ends things with his girl after finding out her claim to be a virgin and wanting to wait till marriage was not quite the truth, when in actuality she was quite active with other guys, but she just wanted to make this guy wait. And of course, he's getting the wrath of Reddit from all the women in the comment section about this whole thing. It's absolutely ridiculous. And remember, guys, whether you are the nice guy or not, it's how they all perceive you, and the rules for betas and they break rules for alphas type of thing is right here. And if you don't ever want to wait, to get it on, then don't do that. I don't care how seemingly great the girl is. Titled, Am I the a-hole for breaking up with my girlfriend after finding out she's not a virgin while trying to make me wait? And a shout out to Frank for sending this story. It says, I'm 26 years old. I met this girl, a 26-year-old female, after she came to my workplace and we hit it off immediately. Our chemistry was intense from the start and lasted throughout our short-lived relationship, which did last about a month. Within the first week, she had already introduced me to her friends from school and church. By the second week, her mom, sisters, and even extended family knew about me. That is way too soon for that. It's like this girl's like, okay, I'm now ready to find my husband, so I'm going to really ratchet this thing up quick. Looking back, I'd say we love-bombed each other. By the third week, I asked her to be my girlfriend. Yeah, well, smack to you. You should always wait for her to ask, but her actions are showing she's rushing. On our first date, she made it clear that she wanted to wait until marriage for you-know-what. She even mentioned breaking up with her last ex after 4 months because he was pushy about it. I respected her choice and was willing to wait until she was comfortable. Smack! That's not what you wanted. I can't make that any more clear. It's not what he wanted. What, you think you're going to marry her now? However, I did ask if she had always held that standard in past relationships because I didn't want to be the guy who walls are suddenly put up because I know I would be overthinking, second-guessing about her attraction to me, and resentment might begin to grow. She assured me that she had, and by implication, was a virgin. I'm not a virgin for context. Okay, she's assuring him that she's a virgin. Maybe she's a born-again virgin. But we were physically affectionate, but I noticed she avoided making out, only giving me brief kisses. Well, what the hell's the point of this? She won't even give him tongue or much of that, let alone anything else. He's 26. And obviously, this is not what he wants. When I brought it up, she said she wanted to avoid anything that could lead to SCX, and I immediately dropped the topic. I really, really, really liked her and was willing to wait even if I actually got to the point of marriage. Smack! Dude, can't you get any other girls? She can't be that great. A few weeks later, during a late-night phone call, she brought up the topic of sex and asked if I was okay with a completely sexist relationship until marriage. Well, in her mind, hey, this guy's going for it. I was honest. I told her it wasn't ideal for me, but for her, I was willing to compromise. Then I had the inclination to ask if she'd never done anything before. Remember, this is the girl that made him think she's a virgin. She hesitated before admitting, no, I've done everything except anal. What happened to the virgin thing? In a surprisingly casual and laid-back manner. Almost like she had forgotten the lies she told me and was hoping I'd forgotten or wouldn't have the balls to bring it up. That's what she thought. You wouldn't have the balls to bring it up. I felt a sharp pain in my chest, and probably his ass. And frankly, incredibly stupid, I asked why she had lied about her virginity, and she insisted that she hadn't. Well, of course, she's not going to admit that she did something wrong. That she has simply been celibate since her last relationship. Oh, okay, sure, born again, huh? Which ended 2 years ago, which to me felt like she was trying to lie based on a technicality. Lots of girls lie based on technicality, brother. I then asked how was I supposed to feel knowing she had gone all the way with others, but wouldn't even give me a deep kiss. Well, she fell silent. When I pressed her, she said, I can't control how you feel, which felt like a slap in the face. Shit, I think at this point he would take a slap in the face, any type of thing from her at this point. He ain't getting anything. Bro, this is a terrible idea. Walk away. I asked her how she would feel if the roles were reversed, but she dodged the question entirely, which to me showed a lack of empathy. Lack of empathy and lack of respect. Her perception of you, man, is that you're a typical nice guy she can push around. When I asked her how many partners she had, she refused to answer. Well, that tells you everything. I asked her if she had you-know-what with her most recent ex, and she said yes, but she didn't want to anymore, and that's why I got pushy and broke up with him. This chick is all about control. She's using, again, the saying is women control the keys to the bedroom, men control the keys to relationships, but guys don't know this. She also told me she hadn't been serious about the others, but was serious about me, which is why she was holding off. Logic that only frustrated and irritated me more. So in other words, the guys that don't matter, she is more than willing to do everything and anything under the sun, except for anal, of course. But with the guy she really likes, who she wants to introduce to her family and marry, nope, he ain't getting shit. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Why give the most intimate part of yourself to people who have no real plans for you, but make someone you know is very serious about you wait? Because she doesn't give a shit about you. It's control, it's power. At that point, I told her over the phone I no longer want a relationship with her. Good for you, man. You wasted a whole fucking month. But at least you broke up with her. She started crying, and we said our goodbyes. We unfollowed each other on social media platforms and went no contact. A week later, she came into my workplace. I said hi, and she gave me a cold hi in return. That was 3 weeks ago, the last time we spoke. What do you guys think? Am I the a-hole? No, bro. You're the a-hole for getting involved with this girl who made it clear that she wants to wait until marriage when you did not, okay? I will say that. The problem is she absolutely misled you. She misled you by saying that she was a virgin. She misled you in a lot of things. And to find out that she was going to make you wait and not get anything, meanwhile she's hooking up with all those guys before, yeah, that makes her the a-hole here. Now, the whole comment section is full of people. You got some people agreeing with him, but a lot of people, women, that make him out to be the villain here. So again, this goes to show you the mindset. So I'm going to read you both. One girl says, you are the a-hole. If she says no, for whatever reason, that's no. She's not trying to make you wait. She told you she doesn't want to have sex before marriage with you. If you accept those terms or you don't, the latter would mean breaking up, not pushing her to have sex with you. His problem is that she lied to him about being a virgin, about her past and all that stuff like that, and he has a right to break up with her. Another one, this guy says, not the a-hole. You ran smack into female logic. I wasn't serious about any of them that I hooked up with. Now I'm serious about you. No sex until marriage. Your response should have been F you and goodbye. Or even better yet, you should have told her that you paid for the dates you went on and other women, but with her, you have decided to change your standard and you expect her to pay half of everything. There's an idea. Yeah, if he's not getting any, well, he's not paying for the dates. Here's one from another woman. She says, you are the a-hole. You made an assumption and you were wrong. It's the line saying, I don't want to be with a guy who had to abide by different rules than others. It's what makes you an a-hole. She has every right to change her ideas of sex and relationships regardless of past behavior. What you're saying is that she had been a virgin, she was worth waiting for, but because she is not and you aren't getting any, she isn't. It sounds like she has a lucky escape. See, I have to wonder if these girls are actually reading what he said, or they're just seeing the title and they're sounding off on him. His problem is that she was lying to him on multiple fronts and jerking him around. That's it. Another one, this guy says, agreeing with him, I don't get all the you're the a-hole judgments. She set a boundary, he didn't want to abide by it, and ended it. That's not being an a-hole, that's being honest about what you're willing to put up with. Like it or not, she lied. It came out, and frankly, it was a double standard. Double standards just are not the way to start a relationship, not the a-hole. And as big as this, she was the lying thing and all that. And again, that she was getting it on with all the other guys. And I'm sure there was much more details about what she did with those guys other than what was going on. And I'm sure there are much higher numbers that she didn't want to admit to him, you know. But that's what happens. They make rules for betas, break rules for alphas. And a lot of women will get to the point that they're done having their fun, if you will, temporarily. They'll look for their nice guy, what they perceive as a nice guy. And those guys they don't get jack shit, or the bare minimum to keep them around. It's crazy. But anyhow, guys, if you're watching this, you encounter a situation like this, if she's laying this out and you don't want that, then don't stay in a relationship with a girl that if she says, okay, I don't want to have sex until marriage, if you don't want to. That's crazy, you know? I mean, how desperate can you be? But when you find out she's lying, then that's a little different, like this situation here. So good for him.